Sorry, that's just anti-trans.
I want to watch this Casey Miller now thing now. My interest is piqued. Oh, and Hassan made fun of them as well. Who do I even want to watch? Sam Collins. I can't remember what he was like. The tragic aftermath of joining the trans cult. Like, Jesus Christ. Transparency podcast. I should subscribe to this. In solidarity. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll have to look into some of his stuff. There you go, Casey Miller. Fucking hell. Okay, I'll watch the Hassan thing first. How about that? Hassan Piker, known... we'll watch a little bit, and I'll watch the Luxander thing as well. Because Luxander technically, I think, is a detransitioner. In so much as she's female, took testosterone, then stopped taking testosterone.
Remember that dude that was going around trans Twitter that looked like fucking George Costanza, who's like a detransitioner because he was, he was AFAB, FDM trans, and he was like, oh no, like I'm Uggo after I transitioned. What the and everyone was dunking on him. And I looked through the quote tweets.
And everyone was dunking on him. What a fucking piece of shit. I hate Hassan so much. I don't hate him. I just think he's disgusting. And I think he has so much clout that he doesn't deserve. Exactly like Vosh. And it's so hilarious that they hate each other, right? Because they're both the same, basically. Like, it's gross, man.
Because I was looking for one of those like hit tweets off of the quote tweets. And for those of you who don't know, I'll just show you George Costanza. Hold on. No. Hold on. And then I'm going to show you that I'm not.
Why do we need to see someone that you think is funny that they look like? Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to show the actual. Does anyone have that Twitter ready to go? Lined up? I'll just show you guys because this is going to go somewhere. Here, this is it. So this is what was popping off on my timeline. Okay, this is a detransitioner who goes by the name of Casey Miller. There are some of these grifters out there who are like, you know what?
Immediately calling him a grifter.
I trans myself, all right, and I didn't like the results, so now I'm gonna be a weapon. I'm gonna be a weapon for motherfuckers who want to like basically kill trans people, right? It's just, but he's not even
What is that take?
A weapon. I'm gonna be a weapon for motherfuckers who want to like basically kill trans people.
What does that mean? I'm the fucking trans person out of me and fucking I was gonna call him Vorsh because they're basically the same fucking person. Hassan, like. Oh my god, how do trans people watch this fucking shit? They're not a detransitioner, they're not actually what is that based on? Grifters be grifted. Like his community is like disgusting as well, let's be real.
People, right? It's just, but he's not even.
And he's 21. He started taking them at 16. Are you able to make those decisions at that young age? Because it was probably before he was 16. It would have been probably years before that, most likely. They make the decision that they're trans, and at some point they get on the hormones. Hassan needs to take a breath to talk more slowly. To be fair, I've sped him up because I don't want to spend much time on this because fuck Hassan, quite honestly.
Detransitioning, for the record. Like, he's not even detransitioning. He's just mad that he's just ugly.
How does that work? He's not transition. What's exactly happening then? Like, explain the situation.
Oh no.
I mean, it's.
Does he talk like, I don't know, I talk quite fast as well. I kind of had to because I used to work on the phone. And I used to take calls from like tenants for the company I worked for, reporting issues and shit like that. I got very used to saying as quickly as much as I could in the shortest amount of time because a lot of people like to talk, you know.
It's crazy. He literally, not even ugly, by the way. He thinks he's ugly, but he's just mad because he's bald.
Oh no.
How would he feel if he started going bald? I wonder.
Okay, let's watch.
Hey y'all, so I got out of my haircut, because my hair was driving me nuts, and I shaved it because I'm tired of watching my hair thin out, and it's less distressing if I shave it. So when I talk about being too far gone, I don't really know what else to call it, this is what I mean. This is how deep my voice is. It's gotten deeper over time, and it's settled. This is what I mean by hair loss, and it just keeps getting worse, it keeps thinning, it keeps receding backwards.
He also mentioned he was...
Yeah, you gotta ask yourself things like, how well was this explained to him? Was he in a position when he started the testosterone and shit that he was able to understand these long-term effects that are never going to go away, that might require some kind of expensive treatment to actually reverse? And like the voice, that's just done. You know what I mean? Like you can do voice training. You might be lucky and have a high-pitched voice naturally, but that's about it. And I don't see how it's appropriate to take the piss out of someone like this, quite honestly.
He was balding pre-HRT, by the way.
You know, and I'm not exactly sure.
Might have been inevitable, gotta love PCOS. Yeah, but the fucking hormones aren't gonna help, are they, you dipshit?
That's coming back. Those are the main things when I talk about being androgenized, to a point of no return.
The androgenized to a point of no return is detrans...
Yeah, is PCOS alone going to do that? I knew someone with PCOS, like, she still had hair. I feel like PCOS plus testosterone is going to cause a lot more hair loss than just PCOS. So it seems weird to be like, oh, you were balding anyway. It's a masked piker making fun of a trans person's appearance. Yeah, well, a detransitioner. And the thing with these people, they're like righteous bullies. Basically, as soon as a trans person or detransitioner comes along, that they find some reason that is justified to make fun of them, maybe because they think that they're a grifter who is like helping the people that want to kill trans people, which is stupid, by the way. Who the fuck are we talking about? Like, fuck, what was I saying? They're justified bullies. That's what they want to do. So because this person is fair game, he can say whatever the fuck he wants about them. And these like trans fucking freaks that watch people like Hassan, all of these disgusting freaks here. To be fair, I haven't read the comments. Maybe they're not disgusting. Fair enough. But like, yeah, that's what this is. And it encourages other people to do the same. And it's disgusting. And he shouldn't be doing it. It's the same thing that Vorsh does.
Transitioning rhetoric though. That's why I said he's basically like a detransitioner. People that are like, oh, I didn't like what happened after I transitioned. Actually, it's bad. So like no one should do it, right? There are people.
Does he say that no one should do it? Has Casey Miller gone around saying that?
Like that out there. They're all like, you know.
Like he's not even saying anything remotely interesting. This is just the same fucking narrative that everyone else pushes. Like, you think like Vorsh is fucking lazy. hasanabi here on YouTube, bear in mind. I don't think that's his like premier platform. 1.42 million subscribers. And saying all this shit. Just shave it off and get it over with. Me personally, like, I don't know if I'd have gone bald if I'd have continued like living as a man. It would have been devastating for me. Like, I don't want to be bald. I never have. I never will, as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm 34 now. I think I'm hopefully pretty settled in my opinions of how I want to look. But like, oh my God. Yeah, his voice has this kind of tone to it where it's like, I don't know. It's like when Ralph Wiggum's voice breaks, that's what he'll sound like, something like that. It's hard to explain, and I can't be asked trying to do an impression to explain what I mean.
They're the Candace Owens of the trans community, right?
They're the Candace Owens of the trans community. You know, that kind of constant pitch that's just kind of like going throughout everything he says. It's that kind of thing. It makes him sound moronic.
And of course, unsurprisingly, conservative psychos who want to murder trans people will use this as an opportunity to be like, you're
conservative psychos who want to murder trans people. This is just conspiracy bullshit. Listen, I can't be bothered. But we'll watch Luxander. He thinks that detransitions have brought the right-wing pill. Yeah, most likely. Not because they feel they made a mistake. Yeah. It's just this righteous bullying shit. And it's cringe as fuck. And I don't know. I'm very tired of it. I'm tired of like trans people pushing the idea that it's acceptable to act that kind of way. You know, is this papyrus? It looks a bit like papyrus. Anyway, a year ago, Luxander versus Casey Miller. Let's have a look.
The thing is that, like, it's obvious that testosterone is going to masculinize you, okay? They tell you this at various stages of the process, and frankly, if you are...
How do you know what he was told, first of all?
Involved at all in the trans community online, you are...
No, I'm debating the fucking coming up bit. Let's just... Don't call this person she, by the way. Fucking hell.
There is this video that's been going around of this person who, like, seems like they're a trans man, maybe. Their bio doesn't...
Seems like they're a trans man, maybe.
...have pronouns. Says, just another disillusioned 20-something.
Their bio doesn't have pronouns. Oh my God.
Trans man, maybe. Their bio doesn't have pronouns. Says just...
Like, these idiots actually need this shit to be, like, spelled out for them. Like, oh my God.
Another disillusioned 20-something, trying to find reason and moderation in a crazy world. A confused human open to civil discussion. Joined October 2022. I know we talked about this already recently on stream, but I want to bring it to your attention again. Exercising some skepticism on the internet about where your information comes from includes looking at things like this. Like, why did this person just join Twitter in October 2022?
When I first started my Twitter account, which I literally opened to go along with my YouTube shit and all that, I'd get so much stuff like, oh, you're definitely a fake account. You opened your account in April 2024, and it's like, yeah, that's because Twitter fucking sucks, and I'm only on here as a way of like sharing some of my shit and getting in a few discussions, seeing what happens. Occasionally I meet the odd actually kind of cool person, you know? But like, yeah, people open their fucking accounts for all kinds of reasons. Like, what point are we possibly going to make here?
Like, this person's account has to be less than 2 weeks old You see this? Like, the account has to be less than 2 weeks old because it was made this
Pronouns detected, opinion rejected. Yeah, that's one of my slogans. Listen, some people have pronouns that are probably fine. But yeah.
month, this year. I'm not
Oh yeah, for those people. Yeah, I get you.
saying that they didn't exist before then, but, you know, it's something to be aware of. It's something to be aware of, right? No pronouns in bio. How will they learn? Yeah, so let's go back to this. This is a video that's been going around, and a lot of people have been talking about it, and I'm sure we're going to go through the quote tweets as well here in a second. I'm making this video because I haven't really talked about detransitioners very often. Some people would accuse me of being a
She never talks about detransitioners. That flag is the non-binary flag, I believe. No, the turf colors are green, white, and purple. Yeah, she never talks about detransitioners. We already looked. Like, I've done a video about this person before. She'll shit on, like, bad detransitioners. People like Casey Miller, for example. I don't know when she's ever spoken to or about a detransitioner, showing any kind of, like, empathy or whatever. I've not seen anything.
detransitioner because I'm not currently on hormones, but I don't really know how you could reasonably say that because I'm so obviously loudly trans. But I'm
You're still trans even though you stopped taking hormones and you are assigned female at birth and wear makeup and clearly just look like a woman. I'm sorry. To me, that is not trans. You can be non-binary, you can be queer, you can be those things. Cool. Have your identity, be non-binary. That's great. Why is that trans? How are you trans? You took hormones long enough for your voice to turn into what my voice sounds like. Congratulations. Then you stopped again. That's not trans.
I haven't talked about detransitioners very much, and I will say,
To be fair, there's so many flags out there that you kind of risk a lot of them being ugly. That's just how it is.
I have a lot of sympathy for the difficult process involved with discovering your gender identity, whatever that is. I think it's perfectly fine for people who are cis to explore their gender, maybe even try out some aspects of transition and find out that it's
This person is cis, by the way. I'm sorry, I reject whatever transition this person has gone on. And cis and non-binary are the same thing, okay? You're still cis, you just identify as something else. It's not really the same as having gender dysphoria and completely changing aspects of yourself, including your genitalia. You know what I mean? Oh, listen, I've got a low voice because I was on T for half a year. Wow, much transition, very wow.
it's not actually for them, and go ahead and, like, you know, reverse some of the effects or detransition socially or whatever, you know?
Pansexual is what men call themselves when they want to fuck woke women.
Massive respect. I have camaraderie with those people, in fact. Like, it's difficult. It's for sure difficult to figure out your gender shit. What I don't have is sympathy for detransitioners who use their negative experience to say that no one should have access to those things.
Well, we're gonna have to see if that's what he says. Because he could be warning people against jumping into something that is not right for them. He could be saying everyone should stop this immediately. But we haven't heard it yet. We're already, like, front-loading it so much. And it's like, it sounds to me like this person wants an excuse to not like someone who's a detransitioner, because that suggests that there's downsides to transitioning, which someone like me, a trans person, should hate. I should be like, no negativity about trans whatsoever, only positive things, because that's how our communities work. But I'm not into that shit.
Things that they had access to, or that people should have more restrictions on that access, because basically
More restrictions? What's wrong with saying that maybe people need more restrictions? That's an opinion. You're allowed to have that. Like, why not, I don't know, try and set up a debate with this person or some shit instead of, I don't know. To be fair, it's almost impossible to fucking talk to a lot of people, so.
anytime you ask trans people how they feel about the currently existing limitations to care, most of us feel like we want there to be fewer.
Most of us, I hate you, you're not trans. What are you doing that's trans? You have an identity. That's not the same thing. I'm sorry. And asking trans people, do you want your thing to be easier and quicker? Yeah, they're going to say yes. That doesn't mean that's what they should do. We shouldn't just ask the patient what they want and then do everything the patient wants. That's not medicine. That's the doctor being a glorified fucking butler. You know what I mean? Like, her expectations seem insane here.
Fewer barriers. So why would you?
Fewer barriers, yeah. But that doesn't mean there should be fewer barriers. Like, oh my God.
Listen to detrans people talk about how they want things to be less available.
You know, I can't listen to this shit anymore. Just get to the video. Stop poisoning the well. No wonder you have to tell your fans all this shit so that they'll believe you when you've shown the video. You know what I mean?
Get the volumes right and watch this little video.
Hey all, so I got out of my haircut, because my hair was driving me nuts, and I shaved it because I'm tired of watching my hair thin out, and it's less distressing if I shave it. So when I talk about being too far gone, I don't really know what else to call it, this is...
Luxander took tea for a while, got a low voice, and is now just a woman again who shaves the sides of her head, which of course means she's trans, so I don't know. I would like trans to actually mean something again. To me, trans means like transsexual. If this person want to call themselves non-binary, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care. I just don't think that's trans. And I don't like how many opinions have been like fucking swamped into our fucking shit that have nothing to do with trans because they're not coming from trans people. But yet, it's completely colonized all our communities and all our shit. And now half the trans people fucking believe this shit when it's nonsense. Like, what evidence is there for gender identity? RIP hairline, that's a bio... Yeah, this person is biologically female. This person is also biologically female. The only person who would maybe call himself a woman in this equation, myself included, is me.
That's what I mean. This is how deep my voice is.
I can't make fun of her voice too much, because I probably don't sound any better, to be honest.
It's gotten deeper over time, and it's settled. This is what I mean by hair loss, and it just keeps getting worse. It keeps thinning.
It's weird, every time a detrans talks, they're saying they got hormones after a short chat, while trans people talk about being on a waiting list for 2 years. Some of them get on it quicker than others. I think it varies in terms of areas and shit like that. And the thing about the US is, like, it feels like there's more of a monetary, like, incentive to have a quick turnaround and to let people go through quickly. Especially as I'm pretty sure this person took hormones as an adult, and this person started when they were, like, 16.
And deeper over time, and it's settled. This is what I mean by hair loss, and it just keeps getting worse. It keeps thinning. It keeps receding backwards. And I'm not exactly sure that's coming back. Those are the main things when I talk about being androgynous.
Yeah, like for me, if I'd carried on just being a guy, this would be like devastating for me. I would not have wanted to be bald if I was a guy. I know that for a fact.
To a point of no return.
And listen, if you're bald, that's fine. It's just not what I wanted for myself.
I really don't see those being fixable. So that's when I talk about, just kind of staying how I am, regardless of how I feel. That's why, just because I don't really...
Oh, is that why people are saying he's not even a detransitioner? I don't know. Well, it doesn't really seem like a point to, like, debate bro him with, but hey.
See me personally being able to come back from what's happened so far. So I hope that's a little explanatory. Just to kind of give a little bit more of a, let me reword that. Just to kind of, talk about, like, give more awareness to the situation. Kind of so you can see where I'm at. Words are not working well with me right now. I'm just going to cut this off. There you go. This is what happens when you give a woman testosterone. This is for 5 years. This is what happens, essentially. So, that's...
Yeah, it's a bit of a sweeping statement there. I'm sure we're going to rip that apart for minutes on end.
That's it. Stay safe.
What a weird way to end that video with stay safe. So...
How is that weird? Like, I was able to find, like, an issue with something he said, and you're being like, he said stay safe? That's weird. Like, come on, bro.
I'm getting the impression that this person is like, I identify as detrans. Like, I want to detransition and be a woman again.
Well, he didn't say any of that, but sure. I mean, it sounds like he wants to, but he can't because of his hair. That's how he feels. Like, can you not empathize with that? Would you not feel like shit if this was you?
But at the age of 21, the testosterone androgenizing effects have been too great at this point. Is essentially...
Yeah, and he started when he was 16, meaning he would have started transitioning earlier than that, presumably. Like, I doubt he literally got the fucking testosterone right away, you know what I mean?
Actually, what they're saying. Again, I don't know pronouns because there's no pronouns in bio, so we're having to guess, and I'm just going to go with they. So...
Oh, I hate this so much. I hate this. Oh, you haven't got any pronouns, so we'll just have to say they. You're holding everyone to your standard. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, stay safe. That's the most normal thing you can end the video with. And I literally was like, he said something at the end there that's like, Hassan actually said about this person, he's got a good pussy on it. I did not. If I somehow wasn't listening, I don't know. Did they interpret as some kind of... I don't know. I don't know what they're interpreting. They're trying to read as much as they possibly can into this, it feels. But to be fair, I haven't seen all that much of this video yet, so maybe they'll be based, let's be good faith and all that shit.
I really sympathize on the losing your hair thing. Like, it's...
You sympathize, but you're going to shit talk him a whole lot. And you've already said that you thought it was weird that he said stay safe. Okay, bro.
A big deal for a lot of people. Like, even men. Like, a lot of men. There is a huge industry for having your hair replaced, like having hair transplants done. Elon Musk, he was like 21 or whatever in this photo. He was like a young man in this
Swaggart. I've never heard of that.
photo, but look at him. He's thinned out about as much as that guy that we were just looking at.
Okay, he's fucking rich as shit. Of course he can afford to get his hair done up like that. Like, what point is this?
Like, just about as much. This guy maybe has a little bit less. This person maybe has a little bit less hair. Also, he doesn't ID as a detransitioner. So this, I guess this person is like, I want to detransition, but I am not going to, like, because I think I'm too far gone. Like, we gotta
Yeah, that's a shitty place to be in, no? I thought it was someone that follows trends. Right. I wouldn't put it past Hassan. I didn't hear him say that, so I'm not gonna claim it, but... Ooh, better flick my hair around so we can show off. That's a joke, by the way.
we gotta check the quote tweets, okay? Because there are 9,000 quote tweets, and the thing is...
We gotta check the quote tweet, what, for other people that are using this for, like, nefarious purposes. I hate this shit. If that's the case, I hate this shit. Let's see.
That, like, it's obvious that testosterone is gonna masculinize you, okay?
I guess. How much was he made aware of this? He was young when he started. As far as I can tell, I don't think this person was that young when they took testosterone. I don't think they're that much younger than me, I wouldn't have thought.
Tell you this at various stages of the process, and
we're assuming, based on presumably her experience, what this person's experience was. You know what I mean?
frankly, if you are involved at all in the trans community online, you are also going to know that baldness is an issue. And like, did no one tell this person about finasteride?
If you're involved in the trans community, mate, you can't get anywhere near the trans community unless you believe all the same shit that you do. You know what I mean?
Like, you can just take a pill that makes your body...
yeah, it's so simple. Like, great.
Stop responding to the type of...
I'm sure he loves hearing this kind of advice after the fact. You know what I mean? Great.
Hormone that makes your hair fall out, basically. It blocks the receptacles in your hair follicles.
It doesn't even make your hair fall out. It makes your hair fall out if you have a certain gene. Like, you might lose almost none of your hair. You might lose literally all of your hair. And this is... Surgery is always the option for these guys. Don't worry, just hair implants. Yeah. Like Elon Musk. Yeah, I wonder how he afforded, like, hair implants. Jesus Christ.
For that hormone that makes your hair fall out. And there's minoxidil that you can apply topically to make the hair grow.
Why are you telling any of us this? Like, obviously he didn't know.
Go back once you've stopped it, like, thinning. You know, finasteride is super cheap too. I haven't looked
Oh, what a stupid person. He didn't even know all these things that I also didn't know, but sure.
into it personally because it's not an issue for me, but my partner might try.
Yeah, he probably had some idea. Maybe he was told. Maybe because he was very young when he started, he didn't take it very seriously. Like, you know, oh yeah, you can go bald like you can go bald around 25, if not sooner. Like, Jesus Christ. I knew people that were like, when I was 26, I'd meet people that were younger than me and their hair started about here. It was like, Jesus Christ. It was one of the first times I started to notice myself aging or something, because it was like, there's people younger than me that like look like that now.
Taking finasteride because his hairline is receding and his granddad is bald, so like, if it can be avoided, that would be great. But like, let me just say that right there. Like, cis men worry about losing their hair and going bald. Trans men worry about losing their hair and going bald. I know Jamie Rains, Jamie Dodger, who's on YouTube, has talked about...
And is a complete fucking Philistine, piece of shit, absolute loser, fuck Jamie Dodger, terrible YouTuber.
About this before. He's on finasteride because he's invested in having nice hair, okay?
He's got over 1 million subscribers. He can afford whatever the fuck he wants. I mean, I don't know that he did in November 2022, but his channel, he was probably making more money off his channel in 2022 because his shit has stagnated hard.
Find it surprising to learn that one of the main groups of people who has like the most intense distress about going bald and losing their hair, everybody has distress. I would grant that one group is more distressed by it than others, and that is going to be trans women. Or I guess.
Well, the thing is, let's think using our brains here. You have to also remember that he made this decision as a child. That's going to have an additional impact. The fact that he made a decision as a child that has now resulted in him going bald at 21. Like, 21 is a young age, by the way, to go bald.
I guess cis women too. Cis women balding is pretty upsetting for them, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often, but yeah, sure, I guess. Let's add everyone in. Everyone worries about going bald. Amazing. Okay, great.
Because I think even more than men, women...
Yeah, the thing is, she doesn't know anything about his, like, actual situation. She doesn't know who he was speaking to. She doesn't know who... And these people have been like, oh, he looks fairly good. He could pass as cis. It's like, that's obviously not what he wants. Fucking hell.
have to worry about their appearance, and your hair is a huge part of your appearance. And, you know, you lose some options when you go bald.
She's giving advice to make the detrans look stupid for disliking her appearance on T. Detrans people have infinite responsibility, while the doctors and other trans people have none. Yeah, and it's completely the wrong way around. Yeah, you should know what you're getting into for sure. Someone that's very young is less likely to understand the long-term effects of the decision they made, which is, I would be amazed if Luxander touches on that, because we're all obsessively trans the kids, you know what? Oh yeah, the non-binaries that can't figure out what toilet to use. Listen, what do you look like? Use that one. No one cares about non-binary people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to fucking break this to people. No one gives a fuck about you. Stop pretending you're confused that you don't know what toilet to go to. You know exactly what toilet to go to. Just fucking go to it and stop inserting yourself in shit that doesn't actually concern you. Again, non-binary and trans are not the same thing. I'm sorry.
A lot of people say that their partner is no longer attractive after they are bald. You know, like, it's an issue, right?
Have you liked the stream? You should consider liking the stream. Also, check the links in my description.
So the trans women have been responding to this going like, I empathize with this. You know, it's not fun to have, you know, testosterone hurt your body in this way, basically. Like,
hurt your body in this way. Oh my God. He had 1.02 million in November. That means in like almost 2 years, he's only grown by about, I guess 100,000 subscribers is a lot. But then the more you have, I think usually the quicker it kind of goes up anyway. They should use the disabled. Isn't that illegal? I'm sure in the UK you're not really supposed to use a disabled toilet if you're not, you know, disabled.
it sucks for anybody to feel like they're in a gender incongruence with their body, okay? You cannot, at age 21, be like, it's too far gone for me, and I can't, like, go back. Like,
you cannot? Why not?
obviously, if you had top surgery, you can't, like, reverse that. You'll have to get implants or whatever.
Yeah, what if he had? Would you change your tune? Would you write a title like "Detrans person takes hormones, is surprised they work. Bad luck on the baldness genes"? Like, would you do that if he'd have got a mastectomy? I don't know.
Or whatever, you know, there's that. But as far as the hair growth and the voice, honey, trans women do this and they pass all the time.
What point even is this? Anyone can go bald. It's mostly genetics. Like, oh my God, these people don't get it.
And the voice, honey, trans women do this and they pass all the time. All the time. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not reverse that. You'll have to get implants or whatever, you know, there's that. But as far as the hair growth and the voice, honey, trans women do this and they pass
What, lose their hair and have deep voices? Show me one.
all the time.
Like who? Show me one.
All the time. I'm not saying it's easy.
Oh my fucking God.
I'm not saying it's cheap.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's cheap. Just be like a trans woman. Like, great point, Luxander.
Okay? If you started out assigned female anyway, though, it's going to be
And this person started when he was a kid. Why is there no mention of this?
easier for you to pass because your, like, fundamental bone structure is still more or less correct. My mother wore wigs. Yeah, anyone can go bald.
What makes you think he wants to wear a wig? I don't want to wear a wig. I don't like wearing hats. Why would I want to wear a wig? I don't like things being on my head. If I lost my hair, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. I'll just wear a wig. Oh, okay, I'll just fucking spend God knows how much money on one that actually looks like hair, because most of them fucking don't, let's be honest. Oh my God, like, it's so easy for this person to say this shit as well.
My hairline was shit before I even started testosterone, so I understand the uncomfortable feeling with hair loss. So here's a little bit of a twist in the story. Just a little bit of a twist in the story. Are you ready? As I build anticipation for the twist, you should hit like on the video. Are you ready? So here's the twist. Casey Miller had already started going bald before starting testosterone.
Oh, and of course it's Katie Montgomery. Monty, what a fucking loser. Here's the thing. He was losing some of his hair already. Do you think the testosterone helped with that? Or do you think it probably made it way fucking worse than the PCOS did? Like October 2022 as well. Might have been inevitable. I don't know. Is he working through his feelings? I'm not sure. Has he changed his mind? I'm not sure. Is this a smoking gun that this person's a fucking grifter like fucking Hassan was saying? No, of course not. This is a twist in the tale. Oh, I'm building up anticipation for a fucking tweet from Katie Montgomery. Wow. I'm so surprised that these two people ended up on the fucking line. Do you know what the line is? It's a thing where trans people go on fucking some debate bro show where they 2-on-1 random supposed transphobes and mute them whenever it's not convenient for them to be talking and go on minutes-long diatribes at these people during fucking debates. In a video about quitting tea, she actually said she felt a kinship with trans women. Oh, disgusting. Fuck me. She has no idea what it's like. Disgusting. Oh, hi, Atena Cactus, by the way. Can they do just a little empathetic? These people are not capable of empathy. Katie Montgomery, I know little about. I've watched enough of her shit to know that I wouldn't expect empathy from her if I was on the floor in front of her, dying, having been very nearly cut in half. Oh, hey, Christina, what's up?
Because of polycystic ovarian syndrome, which increases your testosterone level in your body, basically. Like, it's a hormone
Yeah, so should he have been on it? Did the doctors know that he had this?
problem. Yeah, this is a key piece of information. Like, this young person was going bald before starting hormones anyway. But also, if you have baldness that runs in your family, you should expect that to happen to you. Like, did you expect
Does he have baldness running in his family?
to look like an anime boy? Like, I'm sorry, but like sometimes when you go on
Jesus Christ. I don't know. I should make more judgments about this person's use of tea, how it feels a bit like people use crazy fucking... Oh, yeah. What was it, Sean? Oh, yeah, Charlie made a thumbnail for it. It was great. Oh, my God. Yeah, Jesus Christ. This is like... This person makes me sick, quite honestly. You don't know almost anything about his actual, like, shit. Did she transition in part because of condition? Maybe. Like, it might have androgenized her to where she felt like that was a sign or something. Who knows? Or... I don't know. The thing is, I don't know that much of this Casey Miller person's, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Circumstances? So I'm kind of speculating, but I'm not making, like, these kind of crazy statements. This video is insane in the context of her previous content. All right. Because at some point, I presume she was, like, super trans man kind of shit. You're hungry? I'm not. I need to pee after this, though.
on testosterone, what ends up happening is that you just fucking look like your dad. Which can, like, that can be a problem for some people. They're like, my dad was my abuser, and I am like...
We still don't know if this other guy's, if this Casey Miller person's family has baldness in it. They said about PCOS. We don't know if the fucking doctors that transitioned him knew that he had PCOS. Like, there's so much information missing, but we're making such hard, like, conclusions. Don't think, just try tea. What do you think was gonna... Yeah. Some of these people talk about, like, hormones, like, they're so disposable. I mentioned someone called Felix Fern earlier. In one of these debates that I watched, like, bear in mind, he's one of those people that took tea and then went bald. And is talking like, yeah, you know, I was a trans man for a while, now I'm detransitioned, I identify as non-binary, and, like, I'm a bit more feminine. But in posts I've seen, he was, like, complaining about how much dysphoria he had for losing his hair. Like, that's a direct result of treating this shit, like, disposably, like toys. She literally detransitioned because she wanted to be a new anime boy. Jesus. I'm going to have to find some of that content at some point because... I don't know. I have little patience for these kinds of people. And I don't, again, this is another person. I have no idea how they got any kind of clout or relevance or respect other than saying what people want to hear, seemingly.
Like, on testosterone now, and now I look like my abusive parents, you know? This person was already going bald. Like, and if you have 2X chromosomes, you have to check both sides of your family to see whose baldness genes you're going to receive with that, you know? But, like...
Was he advised this? He was a kid when he started, remember?
Did someone fail to tell this person about all the possible androgenizing effects? Like, did they not know that their baldness was probably going to get more intense? And if you were starting to go bald before transitioning, like, had you not sought out treatment? Did it just simply not occur to you to seek out treatment for that in conjunction with your other transition-related?
Did it not occur to you? She almost hit on a good point. That's the worst thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's just get through this shit, man. Can I speed it up further? She's talking at a fairly normal pace at 1.5. I think 7.5 is fine.
Shit? My man thought he was going to turn him into Timothy Chalamet. Apparently, I don't have PCOS.
Oh, and listen to all the judgmental fucking comments. Thought he was going to look like Timothy Chalamet. We've seen like one short clip where he said almost nothing because he was like stumbling on his words, and like Calvin Garra made a video on her. Jesus. I know Calvin Garra has been a punching bag. Like, that Leo and Willie made a video about him, like, this year, and he doesn't even make content. He doesn't defend himself or anything. Austin atheist community, yeah. Non-binary flag at the back, yes it is. And this person calls himself trans. I disagree that they are trans.
But I have a higher natural testosterone than a
If you're female and you look like this, you're not trans. Come on, you're not trans. You've got this makeup going on. This hair is not masculine. Whoever's telling you it is lying. In fact, this is like a trans woman haircut, so I don't know.
people, so I expect that I will have less hair in the future. I mean, yeah, fair enough, but you can't, like, literally, there is medicine that's easily available. There's medicine that's so easy.
And we're talking about how he's, like, wanting to restrict all care. Have we got to, like, stop poisoning the well and, like, lead off with that shit, if anything? Like, how many people are going to click off thinking this person's, like, bad faith as shit if she's maybe, like, waiting till the end to actually show what the fuck she's talking about? Like, this is so backwards.
Easily available. I don't know how fair I'm being, but that motherfucker just makes me irrationally angry. Frank.
I don't know how fair I'm being. Makes me irrationally angry. What have we seen yet?
Like, they're like, I don't like the effects that it did to me, and I wish I could go back, but I can't go back. Like, one of the main problems...
Yeah, that's something that you should feel bad for them about.
...is that this person said something along the lines of, like, I'm not going to make women uncomfortable the way that trans women do. Like, part of this person's motivation, and I
Based.
might not be able to find the tweet. I'm sorry, I'm going to look for it first.
Might not be able to find the tweet. Of course. Tweet. Sorry, not treat. The fact that I have to say the word tweet so much when I watch half this shit is frankly depressing. We have medication for that as if it's a 100% solution. Yep, also true. It's very easy for this person to say that. It's extremely easy to look at someone else's problems and solve all of them in the matter of a few minutes. But none of us are seemingly able to do that for ourselves. It's interesting. It's interesting.
A second so that I can prove to you that I'm not making shit up. But this person was saying, like, I'm not going to subject cis women to the experience of being around someone who looks kind of masculine in the bathroom and
What's wrong with that?
stuff. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I might not be able to again. Maybe this person is not as shitty.
That's his opinion. Wait.
Kind of masculine in the bathroom and stuff. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I might not be able to again. Maybe this person is not as shitty as we kind of expect these people to.
Maybe this person is not as shitty as we kind of expect them to be, but you've talked so much shit about them up to this point. Apparently they want to like stop all trans for everyone. This was my thought process, but apparently that message got lost somewhere. Oh, okay. Hang on. No, we'll read the whole thing. Teenage girl, I think I might be a boy. Trans activist, you are a boy. Get HRT, you'll feel so much better. 21-year-old trans man, I don't feel better, this was a mistake, and I'd hate for other teenage girls to go through this. Trans activist, haha, fuck you. I mean, reasonably honest. And then Casey Miller, this was my thought process, but apparently that message got lost somewhere. I'm not anti-trans, I'm anti-unneeded medical intervention. By the way, these people never get afforded their own position. These people will spew bile if you don't respect their gender identity, but they won't respect your identity in terms of how you identify in this way. Because it's only gender identity, I guess, that's a sacred cow and nothing else is, which is bizarre to me. If I had to do it, I wouldn't have transitioned. And I think a lot more people are like me than we realize. Is there something wrong with that? Like, Jesus Christ.
To be, because they say this was my thought process. I'm not anti-trans. I am anti-unneeded medical intervention. If I had to do over, I wouldn't have transitioned. And I think a lot more people are like me than we realize.
So, like, this maybe is a person, this indicates to me this person maybe thinks there's young people that are not trans that are getting this treatment, that are being kind of pushed towards transition maybe by other trans people that hear what they're saying and think they relate to it, when actually this person has other stuff going on. And now they're unhappy, and now they think there must be people like me that are experiencing the same thing and I'd like to help them. There's nothing wrong with that. This is fine. And she's going to be like, she was like, maybe this person isn't as shitty as we initially thought. It's like you've slagged the fuck out of him, given him all this useless, unneeded advice that's way too late, without really knowing his circumstances. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, okay, so it kind of seems like they are anti-children having access to medical intervention on the basis of
Same. Am I anti-trans? Call me a transphobe, I dare you.
their experience being bad.
Call me a transphobe when you took T for like, what, a year, 6 months, some shit like that. I've been on hormones for like fucking over 9 years. I've been trans for probably longer than this person's been an adult. I have no fucking idea because I don't know how old they are. But yeah, ridiculous.
So like that's the thing about it is like, why are you choosing not to detransition? Why are you choosing to?
Why are you choosing not to detransition? Do you have the memory of a goldfish? They were talking about how they're too far gone in their opinion. I'm too far gone. I've lost so much of my hair. Then why don't you want to transition? For the reason he said fucking 10 minutes ago, my bro.
I don't know, like if it's
Oh, hi, Scooper. It doesn't count coming from you, I'm afraid to say.
so like that's the thing about it is like, why are you choosing not to detransition? Why are you choosing to? I don't know, like if it's because if you're like, I think I'm too far gone, like that's just dysphoria, honey. Like I'm sorry, that's just.
It's just dysphoria, honey. I'm sorry. Like, Jesus Christ, do not. Never become like a negotiator. Never try and talk someone out of like harming themselves. Please don't. You will make it worse. That's all you'll be able to do. I promise you. Don't.
Just dysphoria. That is exactly what most trans women experience. You know, this was something that I listen, okay? At one point, I kind of thought that I wanted a beard, right? I was like, damn.
This is just a part of the trans experience. I kind of thought I wanted a beard. Why haven't you fucking seen like a therapist about some of this shit? Because it sounds mental to me. And it's like, oh, well, I wanted a beard at one point, so I took tea. Then I decided I didn't anymore. You got lucky that you didn't really get any shitty fucking effects, you know what I mean? Aw, the old super is dead. I can't remember what the line is. The old super can't come to the phone anymore. Why? Because he's dead. There we go.
A beard would look really good on me. Yeah, that'd be great. And then I'm kind of worried about trying minoxidil though, because what if I end up not wanting a beard? Like what if I try it and then I'm like, I don't know if I actually want this beard, this facial hair anymore. And then I realized, like, oh, I ended up with facial hair that I don't want. Then, oh no, I have to do the same thing that almost every woman in my life has to do, which is, oh no, I have to get laser hair removal. Oh.
Almost every woman in your life, is almost every woman in your life a trans woman? Oh no, now I have to get laser hair removal. Laser hair removal hurts like shit. It might not even work. Here's the thing, I've had laser hair removal. I have lots of sessions of it. Laser hair removal doesn't work if your hair and skin tone are similar. My hair and skin tone, I don't know how well you can tell from the bizarro lighting that's in here. My hair and skin tone are not anywhere near the same. It still didn't work for me. I've no idea why. It just didn't work for me. You might end up wasting a whole bunch of money. You might end up going through a whole lot of pain that didn't actually do anything. Like, this is insane. These people, they treat trans as if it's the most disposable thing in the world. When this guy started when he was 16. Like, oh my God. I'm like shocked by this, quite honestly. Like, these people are so good at putting themselves across like they're like good people and like sticking up for like marginalized people. They're not. These people are like the worst kind of people. Like, oh my God, this is like sociopath level shit. It's so easy to criticize someone else's bad decision making that they're admitting that is a bad decision. It's not easy to look at yourself and some of the shit you're saying and realize that maybe there's a problem there too, and maybe you're a bad influence on people, because transition is not fucking disposable. You do it, you're fucking doing it. That should be the attitude, not, I know, I'll try tea for a year or two, maybe it'll be fun, you know, might grow a beard, see how I fancy that, I'll just get lazier if I don't like it. Like, fuck off with that shit. It's not disposable. When I was first considering transition, the kind of advice I got from like strangers, like trans strangers, it was like, you have to know that this is what you want. You can't be like, I think I might be a woman, I don't know. That's like not enough. You have to know that this is right for you because there's no going back. That's how it should be. Oh, hi, confirmation bias. We're watching Luxander for the next little bit. And then I'm going to pee, and then we are going to watch anything else because this video is annoying me.
Oh no, like big fucking whoop. It's not a big deal. Like there are certain aspects of transition that you cannot take back.
It's not
Okay,
a big
right?
deal, literally. What I've just said, it's not a big deal. Exactly. You think it's disposable. You're lucky. All you got was this deeper voice, which you're fine with. Like, you're lucky. This other person was not lucky and probably started earlier than you, was doing it for much longer than you. Sounded like he was kind of gassed up by some people. Oh, laser hair removal? Yeah, I mean, I get, fuck, what am I talking about? I get electrolysis, which has been working. It's taking a long time. I don't grow much facial hair. Like, there's at least one fucking idiot on the internet that thinks that my facial hair is like literally all of this. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that at some point. And no, it grows like here and like around here. And like up here, it's just thick as fuck, like really thick hair. So it's just taking fucking ages and it hurts like a son of a bitch. This is a woman who took tea for a short amount of time and their voice went down, and they're shitting on someone who took tea for 5 years and lost all his hair.
Obviously, don't get your tit cut off if you're not 100% sure that you're okay with not being able to.
But you're just talking about how, like, oh, it's easy, just get like laser hair. And now you're saying don't get it cut off as long as you're sure. Which is it? Fucking Luxander, which the fuck is it exactly?
Do the normal boob things later. Like, I don't know, breastfeeding is going to be a lot more difficult, for example. But yeah, just goddamn stop, like, advocating against
Sam as in Samantha Lux. Oh yeah, fair enough.
people having access to this care, you know? I'm so annoyed by that. Every single time, like...
This is like narc rage. You cannot empathize with this person because they disagree with you. That's how it is. I'm sorry. This feels like narc rage.
One of these people comes out and, like, I really like this other person who I would love to have on stream sometime. Support detrans. Support
detrans as long as they bend the knee. That's what that means.
detrans is a detransitioner.
Yeah, who bends the knee, presumably.
Who identifies as NB.
Pro-transition, detransitioner. They bend the knee. Detrans NB. According to you people, this person's still trans. They still identify. She, it, AE. Like, what? I like, she, it sounds like a joke, but then AE, she, it, I don't fucking know. This person still bends the knee. They're still in the cult. Like, this doesn't count.
So not like a total detransitioner, but like someone...
She was dragon gender for... I know she goes by its, but I don't call people it. I draw the line at they, them. I'm okay with calling someone a they. That's about as far as I'm going. I don't know what AE means. I do know what it means, and it doesn't mean a person. So there we go. I'll rely on my own knowledge of the English language as someone who can spell, as someone who literally is fucking English. It's named after my own country, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking listen to someone else on that shit.
Someone who had top surgery as a teenager and is now 19 and regrets having had top surgery and wants to, and like kind of partially identifies with womanhood at this point, but doesn't think that children, like adolescents, shouldn't have access to care, you know? We just...
Okay, so she still bends the knee, like I just said, and is somewhat irresponsible despite having a bad experience himself.
Went over like the new WPATH guidelines. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot more of these accounts coming out, because the WPATH guidelines did specifically say you should, in fact, like lower some of the thresholds of accessible care.
Yeah, disgusting. Shouldn't be like that. WPATH, extremely suspicious organization. This person presumably hasn't seen the WPATH files, or if she has, she's seen the Erin in the Morning article out about it and assumed that Erin in the Morning was being truthful, which they were not. The only thing I could find when looking for the list of the 216 items of issue in the fucking WPATH files, the only thing I could find was a Jesse Single tweet asking where this list was. Like, it's nowhere. Do you know how many, like, issues Erin Reed brings up about the WPATH files? About 10. And some of them she's literally wrong about. You know what I mean? I feel its people have a dehumanizing fetish. Probably, yeah. More like L-path. Yeah, L-path. I would do that. I might beat you at spelling bee, but I might not. So I don't want to, although I know a great video about spelling bee. I probably will get called racist if I play it, but it's great.
For adolescents, meaning teenagers. So anyway, I really do wish that people like Casey Miller wouldn't be like, well, this is what happens, you know, when you put a woman on testosterone. Like, wow, surprise, shock and surprise, going on testosterone and...
Shock and surprise, but yeah, you treat them like toys. You treat them like this shit is disposable. Oh, it's simple, just take this. They weren't told this, presumably, and if they were, they may not have understood how needed it was, considering they were pretty young when they started taking testosterone. Like, the mixed messages here are insane. I almost can't tell what this person actually thinks.
Androgenize your body, you know? I'm sorry that you're upset about it now. If you want to reverse some of those things, you totally can. You absolutely can. Most of it is reversible. As hopeless as it feels, I'm sorry that you feel gender...
Most of it is reversible with expensive, painful procedures. With the hair loss, yes, it's reversible if you have a fuck ton of money. There's a reason I never got my, like, balded bits filled in. It's because it's expensive. I can barely afford the fucking hairs getting pulled out of my face, you know what I mean? I can't afford that shit, so I just don't do it, you know? It's expensive. This isn't just, oh, you just fix that. It's reversible. It's fine. Like, This is the problem. Your attitude is the problem. This is probably the exact kind of attitude that was conveyed to him when he started doing this, thinking this is good for him.
Dysphoric about not having hair. You are now comrades with...
And now you're blaming him, and now you're fucking assuaging your guilt for knowing that your kind of rhetoric is the exact fucking problem that gets people into this shit. You're absolving your guilt by lashing back out at him. Like, fuck me. Is this like sociopath shit, or am I going insane? I can't tell.
with trans women. And it sucks that they would be like, I'm not gonna make cis women uncomfortable because I look like a man and I don't want to go in the bathroom.
Well, look at him. Would that not make you like a bit uncomfortable? 1602. Look at this. Do you not see why he feels like he would make women uncomfortable? And yet he wants to detransition and can't. Like, fuck me. He probably would rather use the women's bathroom because he considers himself a woman. I'm not even sure I'm using the right fucking pronouns, quite frankly. But like, Jesus Christ.
I don't want to go in the bathroom, you know? Thank you so much to all of my supporters, especially my patrons. And
Oh, that was it. Well, we get to see this person's Patreons. People giving her money to be insane. If any bald people are reading this, don't worry, you're beautiful. Wow, that's not patronizing. This person was only 15 when they started hormone treatment. They might not have even had all the knowledge that you have, and it's possible they were not totally aware of anything at that early age. Very based comment. Olga's British Fells. I don't know if you're part of this person's community, but you're very smart. Well, you're smart in this case. Luxander is not a trans man. Luxander is a woman, a cis woman, who is non-binary. And non-binary and cis are the same fucking thing, by the way. Non-binary is just an additional accessory to being cis, because you want to be queer or whatever. I don't know. There's actually quite a lot of good comments on here. Likes, 4.473. I've never had 8.3k views on a video. I don't know how much that is. Patron of the Bald Arts. Yeah, there's actually quite a few sensible comments here. Think you're missing the point completely. People with mental health issues and or neurodiversity are vulnerable to believing transition will relieve their significant distress. True. And as guardrails are removed, more of this demographic are end up like KC. True. They go through transition only to find it's made their quality of life worse and rather than better. Yeah, certainly in his case. It's not about the balding, it's about getting the wrong treatment for their mental illness and having significant additional health burden as a result. That's a good comment. They're smart. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this fucking shit. As someone with both mental health issues and neurodivergencies, what's the difference? In a large community of others with the same appeal to majority, we don't need or appreciate your condescension, thanks. What's condescending about this? They think you're missing the point. What the fuck? We do not need your input. 23 likes, 12 likes. Fucking sociopath, have some of those. We do not need your input on how to handle our care, thanks. It sounds like you probably do, because people keep fucking coming along that are detransitioning and that took hormones way too young and are now a bit fucked over it. Jesus Christ. Sorry I offended you. I guess I'm not part of the we you were talking about. Yep, I feel that so much. It's precisely for this reason I have a lot of empathy for people like Casey, because I've accumulated a fair amount of medical trauma over the years and I've also made medical decisions I regretted when I was in a vulnerable place. So maybe I'm projecting my medical trauma onto people who are just grifters, or maybe I'm freaking out because their stories ring true to me. This person is being far too good faith. Listen, don't like open up to people. They don't give a shit. It won't make them feel inclined to do the same back to you. Not when there's someone like this anyway. Oh, there's another person. Agree with Mandy. What is wrong with you? Who is the bigot now? And reread and see who is actually the one gaslighting. And by the way, they just fucking immediately dipped after these two stupid comments, because of course they did. Like, another one, started hormones at 15, not fully informed of the outcomes, etc., etc., etc. Suicidal and suffering from even worse, from severe mental health challenges, sharing her story. I don't care about their tragic backstory once they start using dog whistles and advocating against trans healthcare. Why is this so hard for people to grasp? What, that you're a sociopath? Yeah, no, it's not difficult to grasp. It is freely apparent. I was just correcting some of the assumptions you got wrong and perpetuating the video. What dog whistles? She hasn't used any. We haven't seen any in the fucking thing, for sure. I don't have any less support for the trans community after listening to her. This is one of those two things can be a true at once situations. Hamburger brain, you were doing fucking great. That's a great fucking reply. Tell you what, you can disregard all of my tragic backstory the day I start campaigning to remove access to healthcare for some other group. Moronic. I was replying to Reese, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck? Okay, there must be stuff missing here, but like, oh my god, disgusting, gross. Binders can like break your fucking ribs and all sorts. Like, be very careful. If you're someone that's like binding, you know, just careful. Just be careful. Yeah, that's Luxander. I do not like this person. I don't really want to watch any more of them because I feel like I've seen all I have to. This person is on the line. I've seen very little of their personal appearances on the line. I've seen them with Josie Rose, who is a fucking loser, and we've been on that already. We've seen the Pikachu face memes. It's very funny, but ultimately these people are just bobbleheads who say the partisan shit and feel, they want to shit on people because they advocate against trans healthcare. I'm not pro kids transitioning for many reasons. And hey, I'm going to get to talk about them with someone who's actually in this kind of mindset myself, which is great. This is what I've wanted for a long fucking time, man. And like, I don't see how that makes me transphobic at all. I don't see how, because of that, any issues that I've had in my life with trans communities, which has been many, any of that, or the issues I've had with mental health my whole life, I don't see how any of that would mean that all of those struggles are nothing now. Like, it's fucking mad. Okay, I'll watch the quitting tea video at some point. I need to go to the toilet so fucking badly. This took longer than I wanted to because I had so much to say about this video. I will be back in like 2 minutes.